Hello Tutors, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. It's on the British Napoleonic Hussars. I was looking more to the dates, 1805 to 1815. Finally getting around to doing them, which means that these guys are almost done. Not completely, but almost. Just working on last bit of flesh tones. They've got to have the brasswork done to them. I always paint the base with a whatever brown, sandy colour, whatever, dark brown, doesn't matter. I'll just put the paint on the base. Saves that when you do come to sand over them, if you're going to do that, if you miss a bit, there's some brown underneath. You know, you're not having the grey plastic or primer showing through. So yeah, they're almost done, bar the basing and that. So I thought we'd have a quick look at where I've got to with the pile of plastic on my bench. And talking about pile of plastic, 1 minute as I scoot over here. It's been Christmas at our place today. There's been one package landing after another. Right, from the same guy, Last Nazgul is his eBay name. I think he's in Willenhall in Wolverhampton, local bloke. Is Yes Phil, French if you get this far. French Hussars, bit dinged about. One of the old style boxes by the look of it. I'm not 100% sure. Is it the same as the other one? No, it isn't. Couldn't see. Oh, you can't, can you? There you go. Something like that. Don't care about that. As I say, they're there to be, as Charlie Mack would say, they're to be built. Yeah, don't mind that. That was a very, very good price again. Keep an eye on that. That's the Last Nazgul. If you put him in your eBay search engines, I'm sure you'll find him. But he does lots of sales of war game. Some of it's painted stuff. He buys collections up. I have no idea, but occasionally he'll throw out boxes like that, and you can get them a hell of a lot cheaper than you could from a main dealer or from Perry's direct. So anyway, this is supposed to be a quick one, Gav, so let's make it quick. The other sprue I wanted to show you, not related to Napoleonics one little bit. I can hardly see them because I haven't got my readers on. But the blurry sprue I see in front of me, I bought a single Victrix sprue. I believe this came from War Games Emporium, also on eBay. I think they've got bricks and mortar shop as well. I just bought a Victrix sprue of Norman foot knights. I believe they're foot knights or foot soldiers. I've never done Victrix, I believe. Could be proved wrong in my many thousands of videos, but I don't believe I've ever done any before. And I really fancy doing some anywhere from the early Norman period down back into the, which they were, let's face it, transplanted Vikings in a way. Or some Victrix Vikings. But I saw this sprue that I think it was a £5 or something like that. Very impressed with what I've seen through my blurry eyes with no glasses on. So expect to see these. I might even do a quick sprue review. I've only got one. Yes, I can still make it a half-hour video. I'm sure I can. Right, let's get down to the bench and take a look. Right guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. Yes, Gav truly does paint, model and whatever, drink his tea on this disgusting painting or cutting mat, I should say. Yes, it looks like the relief map of the Himalayas with the amount of glue and whatever, and I've got a bit of money in at the moment, hence all the buys. And I really do need to change it now. She's given me loyal service for about 11 years or so, but it really is, where are you? There we go. You try and move a bottle top along with a figure on it, and half the time I tip them over because it catches on the glue. I periodically try and scrape it off, hence all the lines disappearing, but I really do think I'm up for a new cutting mat now. Anyway, let's move these all bits to one side for a minute. Yeah, so can I go back any further? No, that's as far as he wants to go back. Right, so obviously you get all this That was the 7th and 10th Hussars I was showing you, but I'm going for X marks the spot, 18th Hussars. And so I want to do the fur cap. That's what I wasn't 100% really sure that I wanted to do yet another blue uniform, as I've been painting blue French Napoleonics for months, but I've gone for it anyway just because I fancied doing that fur cap. It was this other unit, which was the Hanoverian Hussars. Oh, come on, Gab. Sorry, I'll have to go on wobbly cam. Hanoverian Hussars was a close run second just for the different colours. But I thought, you know, you've got to mix them all up, and I probably would do this regiment if I do this box again, and I probably will do this box again at some stage. As I say, these are all for. I'm just going to sell these on as soon as I've done them. So I can see me doing. I've got that Victrix sprue, and obviously you get like around, was it 40 odd figures in a Victrix bag, because they don't give you a box, do they? So you've got to up front 40 quid, but you can break them down, I suppose, to 2 lots of 20. This is to sell. I mean, obviously, if you're doing them as a tabletop, you know, you're doing them to actually game with. I suppose you're not fussed one way or the other. But I just find that the Perry's at, you know, 30 odd quid for I wanted to do the Victrix Lancers, but as I say, everything I do, I have to make sure that I can sell afterwards, because otherwise I can't do another lot, because obviously I have to take the money off, some money off what I've sold, obviously, to reinvest. So yeah, the Perrys are always a good option, because, you know, yes, they've all gone up to you know, if you go direct off the Perrys, it's about £23 plus postage unless you buy one of their deals. But so far I've managed to score, like off the last Nazgul, I've managed to, you know, buy 2 boxes a couple of 3 months apart, or 2 months apart, and they've both been under £20 with the delivery included. So, you know, Perrys are always a decent option. But I've never done Victrix figures, so I don't know also how well they're going to build and paint up. What I have found with these guys is whether it's just me putting them together, but I've tried all different options, and there seems to be a lot of gaps to fill on these, which was slightly disappointing. I was hoping for less work to do, but we'll get on with it. Say down here again. Can we actually, rather than do that, there we go. So yeah, there's a fair bit of cleanup involved. Obviously, you put the carbine on separately. British horses have dock tails, or they did at the time. So, but yeah, we've got a bit of filling to do in that, which I'm about to get on with. Now, the big conundrum for myself was, I've been putting these pelisses. The pelisse is this jacket that's flowing off. It'll be held on by a cord. They're very forward-thinking cavalry, and these cords that you can see around here quite often are attached, as this guy is. So if the hat flies off as you're galloping along, you still have it, because the soldier will be billed for that hat, and it could take him a year out of his wages to pay it off. So, and the same with the pelisse. The pelisse will be anchored somewhere, usually on this cord. Can't really see? Yeah, cord somewhere around here. I believe that anchors the pelisse on. Sorry, it wants to focus behind me. Now the big question is, and I drilled out these, they need to be, what I do is I'll go out with my modelling glue, what I've been using to stick these together, and clean those out. It'll melt, it'll slightly melt them out, and it'll clean them up. Also, top tip is don't feel, you know, super glue's the way to go, because super glue will attach things really quickly and strongly, but it's also, you've only got to drop them or tap them, and super glue can detach quite easy. Whereas obviously if you use modelling glue, it'll melt the plastic together, which is what it's intended to do. I use Metamia extra thin for that. Is it extra thin that I've used, or is it the... Yeah, extra thin. And then there's also the extra thin something else, which is even hotter, but I use the extra thin, it's just the right consistency, and within a minute or so all these were workable. I could stick the next piece on. Now, and that is the correct way of them holding the sword. I'm not saying literally down like I've got on this one, but I just try and move them around a bit to get a bit of variation. I would have liked to have seen some, like, fellas, I don't know if I'm going to find on some other heads, but I would have liked to have seen some, like, shouting. And, you know, if you're charging along with your sabre at the what's it, on point or whatever they call it, you would expect them to be roaring a battle cry or something, you know what I mean? But very nice, very nice. But yeah, painting with that police on the back, you don't have to put the police on if you don't want to. I decided to because I just wanted it to show it flowing. One, it's an added bit of colour, and it shows it flowing behind. It gives a bit of movement. But yeah, as we can see, cartridge box and everything underneath. It may be that I paint these three as they are, and if it's such a bind, and I can't make a decent enough job with the you know, getting into all the nooks and crannies, I'm going to have to paint the polices separate and stick them on. I didn't want to, only because it's a bit of a rigmarole fertling around with these, as we'd say in the UK, moving them around to get them to. There's a very slight nick being put in the police at the back, and I presume it sits either on the sitting on the shoulder or the cartridge. But I can't, you know, obviously you're just moving them around, so I'm not sure where it sits, but it finally, like, slides into place. But if you're going to paint your figure and then have to put a fair bit of glue around the shoulder part of this police to put it in and then move it around, I don't want to wreck all the paint I've just done. So this could be a bit tricky, and we'll see how it goes. What can possibly go wrong? That you'll see a line there somewhere in here, that's not me leaving a mould line, that's because he'll have leather sewn in on the inside and they've moulded it like that, I presume. The same at the back. It saves wear on the material. So as you can see, as my camera keeps wanting to show, we've got three done. I'm just building up the rest because I didn't see the point in just priming and filling three, but I am going to fill these three now and that can go off as I'm working on the rest, and then I'll prime them all together. And as I say, I think it's going to be a bit of a pain painting them with the police flying in the background, or out the back, but I really don't want to start moving stuff that's got paint on it, glue on it all around the figure. You've only got a slip, and then you have, you know, glue taking off your paint and everything. So we'll go with that and just hope for the best. Right, guys, just wanted to give you that update. As I say, we might have a look. Might be tomorrow. We'll have a quick look at this sprue of Normans. I'll probably stick these together at the same time. I just really fancy doing something different from Napoleonics. As you know, I like to paint different stuff, and I was just remembering back to my childhood when we were taught, obviously, Norman invasion, 1066, William the Conqueror. It's standard British fair type of thing, but we were taught about the Motte and Bailey castles and things, and I just thought, you know what, do these, and I'll do some Vikings at some stage. I might even invest in an entire 40. The thing is, it's a big investment, 40 quid well, yeah, it is 40 quid, isn't it? 30, 40 quid for a box of, or a bag of 40 figures. They look well worth the money. It's just, as I say, I paint and sell and see a bit of flash around some of them, but they look nice. Anyway, I'm digressing, aren't I? Look after yourselves, and we'll catch each other very soon on another video.